Gentlemen, welcome back. I'm Dr. Jame, and this time we start with progress, not panic. Across the UK, a single injection called CAB-LAY is changing everything we thought we knew about HIV prevention. No more daily pills, no constant reminders, just one shot every 2 months. It's already approved on the NHS in England and Wales, part of the nation's plan for no new HIV cases by 2030. The science is strong, but the real revolution is human. Freedom, discretion, and adherence finally working together. If you've ever kept your medication hidden out of fear or embarrassment, you're not alone. Subscribe and drop a 1 below if you want more straight talk that blends medicine with real life. Stay until the solution segment. I'll share one golden rule to help you distinguish imagined danger from actual risk and act with clarity today. As your doctor, let me begin with a clear, liberating comparison. 365 pills a year versus 6 injections a year. That is one brief clinic visit every 2 months, and then you move on without a pill bottle staring back at you. Oral PrEP is clinically excellent when taken as prescribed, and I recommend it often because the evidence is strong and consistent. But the real breakthrough now is not a better molecule. It is a smarter delivery that protects your routine, your privacy, and your peace of mind. I call this invisible protection because there is no label to hide, no cap to twist in secrecy, no cabinet you avoid opening when guests visit. Invisible protection lowers daily stress, better mood improves adherence, and adherence is what actually keeps you protected in real life. For men managing roommates, family expectations, new dating, or a need for discretion at work, the absence of daily pills becomes a quiet dignity. You can prevent HIV without broadcasting anything about your private life, and your plan no longer lives in plain sight on the bathroom shelf. This is why a delivery change can feel like a life change, even though the underlying science stays the same strong science you already trust. Give me 60 seconds here, and you will see how this shift removes real-world barriers that medicine alone could not move. If that makes you quietly happy, drop a signal by commenting Han Fook, and tell me which part of this feels like relief for you. Prevention should fit your life, not the other way around, and CAB-LAY is designed to match life as it is actually lived today. When the plan is easier to keep, protection becomes an automatic habit, not a midnight worry that you might have forgotten a dose. It is not just medicine. It is freedom from the fear of being seen every day. As your physician, here is the clearest way to think about eligibility and benefit. CAB-LAY is designed for HIV-negative people at ongoing sexual risk who want strong, discreet prevention they can actually keep. It includes gay and bisexual men, but it does not end there. It also fits young adults living with traditional families or roommates where privacy is limited and a pill bottle invites questions. It can help people in unstable housing, shift workers, students between dorms and home, and migrants learning new systems where refills are easy to miss. For anyone experiencing control, surveillance, or intimate partner violence, removing daily evidence can reduce danger. There is no label on a shelf, no calendar ping every night, and no conversation triggered by a plastic cap. 6 injections a year lower social friction. A bi-monthly clinic visit is easier to explain as a routine checkup than a visible medication ritual repeated 365 times. The biggest advantage is wiping away the daily artifacts of prevention. No bottles, no refills to hide, no text reminders to delete, and fewer opportunities for stigma to interfere with good habits. Now, a necessary correction, because accuracy matters. CAB-LAY creates a safer zone. It is not a solution for every circumstance, and it is not a pass to skip safer sex. If you cannot reliably return for injections, if you have contraindications, or if your exposure pattern is sporadic and minimal, daily oral PrEP may be the simpler choice. In coercive settings, a clinic visit can still carry risk. We plan around this with flexible scheduling, trauma-informed care, and support services that put your safety first. Talk with your clinician about coverage and access. Use this lens when deciding whether CAB-LA is for you. What will you actually keep? What protects your dignity at home, work, and school month after month? For some men, silence equals safety, and CAB-LA makes that silence possible. Let's answer the question on everyone's mind as plainly and clinically as possible. How much does this cost, and what does that mean for real people? The current list price is about $7,000 per person per year in the UK. The NHS has negotiated a confidential discount with the manufacturer, so the actual paid price is lower. Because resources are finite, the first phase will target roughly 1,000 people. These are adults and adolescents at high ongoing risk who also struggle to adhere to daily oral PrEP. From a policy perspective, this creates what I call the equity paradox. The medicine is expensive on paper, yet its true value is measured by who finally gets protected, not by the sticker price alone. If CAB-LA reaches people who were left behind by daily pills, the return is social as well as clinical. Fewer new infections save lives, reduce stigma, and lower lifetime treatment costs across the system. But public health is also about removing structural barriers so prevention can work in the neighborhoods where risk is concentrated. For individuals, the decision is simpler. Will this approach actually fit your life, maintain privacy, and keep you protected month after month? Coverage matters, and so does access beyond traditional clinics. Pharmacies, primary care hubs, and mobile teams may be needed to prevent bottlenecks and deliver equitable care. If this plan makes you hopeful, drop a sticker in the comments to tell me you're rooting for expansion. If the price worries you, comment "Can Ximi Zit," and I'll review the latest updates and report back in a future segment. We can debate pounds and pence all day, but the real metric is lives protected. Every prevented infection is a family spared fear and a future reclaimed. If the national goal is 0 new cases by 2030, slow rollout equals missed opportunity. Let's talk plainly about who gets protected and who is still waiting. This is not just about medicine. It is about the map of access, trust, and culture. Across recent UK data, uptake of PrEP is high for gay and bisexual men, roughly 78 to 80%. For heterosexual Black African women, uptake hovers around 34%, and for heterosexual Black African men, about 36%. That gap is not an accident. It reflects a system built around traditional sexual health clinics and assumptions that work well for some, but not for everyone. When clinic slots are scarce, transport is costly, or hours conflict with work and childcare, people fall off the map. When forms, posters, and messages do not reflect your language or your life, you do not feel invited in. Stigma also silences questions long before an appointment is ever booked. Daily pill bottles can feel like labels you never agreed to wear. This is where CAB-LA can operate as a bridge drug. By removing daily artifacts and shifting to 6 visits a year, it reduces exposure moments that trigger questions, judgment, or danger at home. But a bridge only helps if it reaches both banks. If delivery stays inside overstretched clinics, the communities with the lowest uptake will remain the farthest away. We need more than approval. We need distribution that respects culture and convenience. Pharmacies, primary care hubs, mobile vans, and community partners can pull prevention into everyday life. If this section helps you breathe easier, comment "I choose access" and name the barrier that most affects you or your community. Your answers guide our next steps and the resources we push for. 2 Britons exist today. One is protected. One is still waiting. 2 Britons are here. One protected, one still waiting. I usually bring warnings, but today I feel energized, focused, and determined to deliver practical solutions you can use now. Community groups are clear. Sexual health clinics are overwhelmed, and relying on them alone creates bottlenecks that block timely prevention. When appointments vanish, wait lists grow, and travel or childcare costs pile up, people most at risk are pushed further away. So we rethink delivery. Take PrEP and injections beyond clinic walls, into places where life already happens without extra friction. Pharmacies can schedule bi-monthly injections, coordinate reminders, and flag missed visits, while maintaining privacy that protects dignity at home seamlessly. Primary care hubs can integrate PrEP with vaccines, blood pressure checks, mental health screening, and care, normalizing prevention as routine. Mobile vans reach shift workers, rural communities, migrants, and people experiencing homelessness, offering discrete services without requiring complex online portals. Community pop-ups at campuses, markets, and faith centers can host vaccination-style events, with peer navigators guiding sign-ups and follow-up visits. Insurance navigation and transportation vouchers should be offered on-site, because access collapses when small logistical barriers stack into overwhelming obstacles. Data systems must track equity, not just volume, so outreach expands where uptake lags and communities keep shaping the rollout. Training needs include trauma-informed care, confidentiality protocols, injection technique, cold chain handling, and rapid referral pathways for PEP and testing services. Funding should reward outcomes like completed injection cycles and reduced new diagnoses, rather than counting how many appointments were offered. This is not charity. It is public health strategy, moving protection closer to everyday life where people actually make decisions. Tell me your perspective in the comments, because local experience beats theory, and your ideas inform the recommendations I escalate. Share what would make access effortless where you live, work, study, or worship, and I will incorporate it into guidance. When the point of care changes, the future changes. In words, when the touchpoint changes, the future changes. Here is the next layer of protection, and it is bigger than any single medication. We normalize HIV testing by expanding routine offers in emergency departments and urgent care, so early infections are found quickly and linked to immediate care. That shift removes shame and guesswork, because testing becomes a standard lab like cholesterol or blood sugar. When testing is ordinary, diagnosis is timely, and prevention gets smarter for the whole community. Your safety net works best as a system, not a single thread. Think of it as tablet plus condoms, plus lubricant for skin integrity, plus scheduled testing that confirms your plan is working in real life. Every injection visit doubles as a checkpoint. We review exposure patterns, screen for STIs, update vaccines, and adjust your prevention plan to match the next 2 months of your life. If a high-risk exposure occurs, activate PEP within 72 hours. Do not wait for symptoms, because timing is everything and early starts change outcomes. Match your testing to real biology. Use rapid tests for screening, fourth-generation tests for confirmation, and follow the 66-3 timeline to close the window period with confidence. Layer practical habits on top of medicine. Moisturize after showers to prevent micro-tears, skip harsh soaps, and treat rashes promptly so skin remains a strong barrier. Keep one smart ritual. Set your injection date as your testing anchor, then add calendar reminders for mid-cycle check-ins and condom restocks. Tell me how this plan feels in your daily life. If the idea of one shot guiding years of confident routines resonates, comment the word Zhongtuan, so I know this direction serves you. Prevention succeeds when pieces truly connect into a living ecosystem. You stayed for the promise, so here it is, clear and useful. My golden rule is 2 months. Talk, check, a loop that turns prevention into calm routine. 2 months. Keep the injection rhythm every 60 days, and your baseline protection stays stable between visits. Stability lowers anxiety, and anxiety is what makes people second-guess science or forget good habits when life gets loud. Talk. Speak your boundaries, expectations, and testing plan with partners before intimacy, not after. Clarity reduces improvisation, and it builds trust because prevention is framed as care, not suspicion. Check. Follow the 60-6-3 testing rule to close the window period with confidence. Test once around 60 days after exposure, repeat at 6 weeks if anxiety spikes, and confirm at 3 months if needed by guidelines. To separate imagined fear from real risk, ask 3 fast questions, then act. First, was there contact between infectious fluid and an entry point like mucosa, open cuts, or broken skin? Second, was there inflammation, ulcers, or a fresh abrasion that could increase cellular targets and lower barrier integrity? Third, did you use dual protection, condom plus lubricant? And are you on schedule with KAB-LA? If any layer failed and timing is within 72 hours, activate PEEP, NARCTIU 72 CHIU immediately and book follow-up testing on the 60-6-3 timeline. If layers held and there was no biological root, choose reassurance, hydrate, and return to routine without spirals. Make this a living habit. Inject, talk, check. Each visit becomes a checkpoint to review exposures, treat STIs, refresh condoms, and adjust plans for the next 2 months of your real life. Write it somewhere you will actually see it. Calendar, phone lock screen, or a simple card in your wallet. Ritual beats memory, and routines beat midnight worry. Tell me which part of the rule brings you the most peace, and what still feels unclear. We will keep refining until your plan fits your life like a glove. The horizon is brighter than many realize, and the next advance could make prevention feel almost effortless for everyday life. Lenacapavir is being studied as a long-acting option that may reduce prevention to a single injection each year. Imagine anchoring your protection the way you schedule a flu shot or annual checkup. One appointment, one decision, and months of quiet confidence without daily artifacts, refill anxiety, or awkward explanations at home. When prevention becomes routine, stigma melts because it stops feeling like an exception. It becomes routine care. That shift requires a delivery revolution, not just great molecules. We need systems built for convenience, discretion, and reliability, because science only succeeds when people can actually reach it on time. Think community first. Bring prevention into pharmacies, primary care hubs, school clinics, campus centers, and mobile vans that meet workers at shift changes. Let local partners lead the messaging. Culturally fluent outreach in churches, barbershops, markets, and social clubs can replace fear with facts and turn interest into action. Invest in navigators who solve the small problems that derail plans. A bus pass, a text reminder, and weekend hours frequently matter more than any statistic we quote on camera. Measure what matters most to families. Track completed injection cycles, on-time follow-ups, and fewer new diagnoses, not just how many posters were printed. Transparency builds trust. Publish uptake data by community, gather feedback publicly, and adjust resources toward neighborhoods where progress still lags behind. For you personally, the path is simple. Pick the prevention you can keep, schedule it like a ritual, and let the rest of life breathe easier. If you want more calm, confident conversations like this, subscribe and share this video with one friend who might need it. Your voice accelerates access, because policy follows people who speak up with clarity and care. If one shot can protect one person, 6 shots can protect a generation. Thank you for staying with me until the end. Hope does not live in a vial alone. It lives in how we deliver the right protection to the right person at the right time. KAB-LA changes the rules where they matter most. It protects without a daily label to hide. It turns prevention into a rhythm you can keep and a life you can live. We also close the gap that geography and stigma created. We move beyond clinic walls. We bring access into pharmacies, primary care hubs, campuses, markets, and mobile teams that meet people where real life happens. Your safety is an ecosystem, not a single script. Think cab-lay plus condoms and gentle lubricant. Add routine testing and a clear plan for PEP within 72 hours when high-risk exposure occurs. As promised, the golden rule is now yours. 2 months, talk, check. Keep the injection rhythm. Name boundaries and expectations early. Follow the 60-3 timeline so anxiety separates from biology. The finish line is shared. When delivery evolves, equity grows. When equity grows, transmissions fall. That is how zero new cases by 2030 becomes more than a slogan. Here is my final invitation as your physician. Choose the prevention you can actually keep. Schedule it like a ritual. Let your mind unclench and your future breathe. If this conversation gave you clarity, subscribe and share it with one friend who might need calm facts today. One click can carry this message to the person who has been searching in silence. Ending HIV is not only possible, it is planned, and we do it together. Your questions shape the next episodes, from insurance pathways to discreet scheduling tips. Tell me what stands in your way, and I will design around it with care. Your reality guides our roadmap.